Hello everyone, I'm Mystere, and you know what makes me happier than a middle-aged housewife sitting on a washing machine during the spin cycle? Yep, you guessed it! An Hour of Devastation draft. So, what we're going to do is go in here and we're going to play a draft for Hour of Devastation. I know very little about this set. I didn't play much during when this was around, so we're kind of going in blind here, but we're going to kind of apply some basic tips and tricks to how you draft in Magic. If you're new to drafting, if you're an expert drafter, you're going to cringe pretty hard at this particular video. So with that in mind, we can buy in for 750 gems, which I won from a previous draft, or we can just use 5,000 gold. So if you get wins, and it goes until you get either 7 wins or 3 losses. So if you get 7 wins, you get 950 gems and 2 packs. What we're going to draft is Hour of Devastation 2 packs and Amonkhet 1 pack. So we just build a 40 card deck. As always, draft mode in Arena uses a special 14 card pack, just like in real life. And you get to keep all the cards you pick. So, and obviously we get to play until we get 3 losses or 7 wins. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to buy in for 750 gems. Yep, why not? We'll do it. Okay, so pack 1. What do we have here? We've got a Ramanap Excavator. You may play land cards from your graveyard. Don't see that being particularly useful. You know what, let's go with the non-land permanent owner's hand. Let's just go with Consign. Why not? So we get Gideon's Defeat here. Exile target white creature that's attacking or blocking. If it was a Gideon Planeswalker, you gain 5 life. What do we have here in blue, since we've picked a blue and a black card? Put 3/1/1 counters. We can internalize this guy, just a regular 1/1 warrior creature. Eternalize lets you make it a 4/4 zombie, essentially. So strategic planning, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. That's really good in a lot of constructed blue decks. I see it a lot. So we draw 2 cards with Tragic Lesson. Discard a card unless you return a hand that you control to its owner's hand. Land you control. Well, we will probably go with strategic planning here. Yeah, so we want some card advantage. What do we got here? We got a Wildfire Eternal. Ooh, so Afflict, whenever this creature becomes blocked, the defending player loses 4 life. So we want people to block this. But it's a 1/4 for 4 mana. But we can cast an instance or sorcery spell from our hand without paying its mana cost if it isn't blocked. Crick of Condemnation. We have an Unsummon. We have a counter target spell unless its controller pays 1 for each card in your graveyard. So we'll probably go... This is a good card if you're in an aggressive red deck, but I don't think it's going to be us this game. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. And Sandblast. This is a really good card. You know what? Let's go with Sandblast, because that's some really good removal. We may be able to go over into white. Liliana's Defeat, destroy target black creature or black planeswalker. Steadfast Sentinel, it has Vigilance. That's pretty decent. 4 mana, Eternalize. We've got Kinder Eternal, Afflict 1. That's a good card. Ruin Rat. Not a big fan of the rat. Has Death Touch though. Lurching Rot Beast. And we've got one of these Indomitable Deserts. Kindled Fury over here. Let's go with... This guy's hexproof, but he's just so expensive. Holy smokes. Okay, so let's go with the Kinder Eternal. We're kind of all over the place, so we'll see what happens. We're not doing so well, I don't think, in pack 1, but that's okay. There's always 2 more packs. So we got Crypt of the Eternals here. When it enters the battlefield, I gain 1 life. And I can pay 1 and add. Okay, so yeah, we're probably going to take that because we've got... Yeah. Dauntless Haven. Alright, so this is a 3-mana 2/1 flyer. Whenever it attacks, we untap target creature we control. That can be really handy. Nothing over here really is going to benefit us much, so we're just going to take... Yeah. Let's just take this Dauntless Haven. Alright, so... Unconventional tactics. Interesting. So, a target creature gets 3/3 and gains flying until end of turn. Whenever a zombie enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay white. When you do, return from your graveyard to your hand. So we can give something 3/3 and flying. We can tap up to 2 target creatures. That's some good combat tricks right there. We'll think about that. Here's the hexproof River Winder again. Another strategic planning. So it's between the strategic planning... Or do we want a camel? Now when he dies, but we don't really have any desert yet, so... Dutiful Servants, that's a good blocker on turn 4, but it's a 2/5 for 4 mana. So we'll just go ahead and take this other... Yeah, we can cycle this. So let's just take that. Here's the desert. Scavenging Grounds. Saving Grace. Flash, enchant creature you control. When a Saving Grace enters the battlefield, all damage that would be dealt this turn to you and permanents you control is dealt to enchanted creature instead. And the creature gets +0/+3, so that's some good combat tricks because it has Flash, which basically turns it into an instant enchantment. And we've got Seer of the Last Tomorrow. We've got Cunning Survivor. So let's go with... let's go with Saving Grace. Alright, we're back to this pack. So life goes on over here. Don't care. It's either going to be this Crypt or these another one of this. So let's take... It's not a desert though, it's just a Crypt of Eternals. Let's take it because we gain a life when we enter the battlefield. We can tap it for a blue or black because we might be running those. Dunes of the Dead. Traveler's Amulet. Graven Abomination. So this is some graveyard hate here. We can tap untapped creature you control, add mana of any color. Or we can take the Rot Beast. Let's just take the Survivor's Encampment. So we're looking pretty control-y so far. Mummy's Paramount. Okay, this is a pretty decent card if we have other zombies. Proven Combatant. This is a good 1-drop. We can eternalize it later on if we're in blue. Tragic Lesson. So we can draw 2 cards and discard a card unless you return a land card you control to its owner's hand. And Defiant Kindred, it's just a 2/2 for 2. But it's red, so let's go with Mummy Paramount. Godfar's Faithful. Okay, so this is a really good card. So whenever you cast a blue-black or a red spell, you gain a life. We'll probably take that, but let's see what else we got here. So target creature becomes indestructible. Yeah, let's take the Godfar's Faithful. Alright, so it looks like we're pretty set on white so far. We've got a couple of blue cards. Just fine, let's put the blue over here. Got a black card there. Get our land cards here. Alright, so... Good. Alrighty, so we don't really need this Liliana's Defeat. Probably have to take this. Yeah, let's just take it. And we'll take the Crash Through, why not? And another Crash Through. It's not gonna help us very much. Put it way over there. Alright, so pack 2. Onward to pack 2. What do we have here? We got another one of these Renunciations. We could take that, or we could take the Dutiful Servants. Lots of red. This is a good pack for red. Do a 2-1 for first strike. And we've got a Fervent Paincaster here. Deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker for just tapping it. It's nice to get through it for that last one little bit of damage. Pretty aggressive card too. You can exert it to deal 1 damage to target creature. That's a pretty aggressive card. So Wildfire Eternal, another one of those. Cast through. Kinder Scrapper. Has Menace. We can exert it, make it a 3/3 with Menace for Frontline Devastator. We're probably going to go with the Renunciation here, since we're still in white. Mummy's Paramount. Whenever another zombie enters the battlefield we control, the Paramount gets 1/1 until end of turn. Otherwise, just a 2/2 for 2. Some equipment here. I guess we have a Riddle Form. This is a really good card if you're in blue. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may have Riddle Form become a 3/3 Sphinx creature with flying in addition to its other types until end of turn. So yeah, and we can scry too. So we're probably going to take this. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Or a counter spell. So this is really expensive. It's 7 mana, or I would take it. But it's unlikely I'm going to get that far. So I'm just going to take Riddle Form here, because this is just really good. Okay, what do we have here? Angel of the God Pharaoh. So this is a 6 mana flying for 4/4. I can cycle it for 2. And Angel of Enduring Hope. So we got a couple of good white cards here. When it enters the battlefield, I gain 3 life. It's a flyer. You can't argue with flyers. Don't need that. Unquenchable Thirst, enchant creature. Enters the battlefield. If you control a desert, or there's a desert card in your graveyard, tap enchanted creature. And it doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So I'm thinking we should take this 4/4 flyer, because this will be a good way to close the game out in game if we get it that late. So we need to look for some bombs here, because we have very little in the way of bombs. We just got a few early game things. Another Mummy's Paramount. A Supreme Will. What is this? So we counterspell unless its controller pays 3. Or we can look at the top 4 cards of our library and put one of them into our hand and the rest at the bottom of our library in any order. So I think... And there's another Unsummon. Turn target creature to its owner's hand. Or another Mummy Paramount. So we've got... How many zombies do we have? We've got... So far we got 1. Probably not going to play black. So we've only got 1 zombie. So this Mummy's Paramount probably isn't going to do us much good. So I'm going to take the Unsummon. Unless we go into white-black, which is highly unlikely at this point. So Sandblast, just another really good removal spell. We've already got one, but I would not be opposed to having another one. Sinuous Striker. It's a 3 mana. It gets -1 toughness, +1 strength for until end of turn. We can eternalize it, or draw a card. Fraying Sanity. We can enchant player at the beginning of each step. Each end-step, enchanted player puts the top X cards of their library into their graveyard, where X is the number of cards put into that graveyard from anywhere this turn. Okay. Or we can do another strategic planning. I think we'll go with a Sandblast here. So another Mummy's Paramount, or this Angel of Enduring Hope. Or strategic planning. So we're probably going to go with either the Angel or the Mummy Paramount. Let's go with the Angel, because we just need flyers. It's going to help us a whole lot out. Another Riddle Form. Yeah, we're definitely going to take this, most likely. So what else do we have here? We have Dutiful Servants. Countervailing Winds. It's just a counterspell. That's Here the Last Tomorrow. Or the really expensive Serpent with Hexproof. So we're going to take Riddle Form. Have 2 of those. So if we have a lot of non-creature spells, we're gonna... Yeah, non-creature spell, we may have Riddle Form become a 3/3 Sphinx with flying. So we got a lot of flyers here. You know, we could probably take this just to give everything flying and 3/3 until end of turn. And whenever a zombie enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, return from your graveyard to your hand. So we'll go ahead and take that just to pump something 3/3 and give it flying. And we'll take the Beautiful Servants. Swarm Intelligence. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may cast that spell again. That's that 7 card. We'll take the Mummy Paramount just for more zombies to synergize with our unconventional tactics. Jace's Defeat. Counter target blue spell if it was a Jace Planeswalker, scry 2. Or we have a Aven of Enduring Hope. Let's get another really expensive, like 5 cost. Even though we probably won't play all these. Can't block unless you control another zombie. Life goes on. We'll just do the Marauding Bone Slasher. Why not? And we'll grab a Strategic Planning just because we can and without weakness. Sure. Alright, pack 3. This is the Amonkhet pack. So what we have here are some cards. We have a Winged Shepherd. Alright, Flying and Vigilance. And Cycling. So this is a nice card to have. It's really expensive. It's 6 mana though. So we'll see. Cartouche of Knowledge. When it enters the battlefield, we draw a card. Some nice card advantage. And enchanted creature has 1/1 and flying. That's a possibility too. So Scribe of the Mindful. Gate to the Afterlife. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you gain a life. Then you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So this is nice if we have Godfair's Gift, which we don't. Forsake the Worldly. Exile target artifact or enchantment. That can be nice if we see some artifacts or enchantments. We'll just take the Winged Shepherd though. Approach of the Second Sun. I hate this card. Will not bother with it because it's Approach. Devoted Cropmate, so we can exert this guy and return target creature card with converted mana cost of 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Or we can just take a cancel here, which will probably take the cancel. Maybe. Okay, we have a Binding Mummy. You can tap target creature, target artifact or creature. That's nice. Compulsory Rest. Alright, so let's take the Binding Mummy. Or we can take the Angler Drake. So 6 mana, or 4 and 2 blue. So whenever it enters the battlefield, you may return target creature to its owner's hand. That is really good, except it's... You know what? We may take this. Yeah, let's take it. Let's take it for a late game kind of a bomb. So we're not going to play these cards. He's out of our way. Alright, so pack 3, Enigma Drake. This is nice if we're in red, but we're not. Even Initiate. Just a 3/2 flyer with Embalm. Ancient Crab. You know, he's a crab. Another Winged Shepherd. Jeru's Resolve. We can untap target creature, prevent all damage that would be dealt to its at this turn. Or an Approach. So we're going to go with the Resolve here. No, you know what? We're going to go... We're going to go with the Crab, so we can just have a blocker on turn 3. So we have Censor here. This is a counter target spell unless it's a controller pays 1. Or we can just cycle it. Essence Scatter. Ooh, we have an Essence Scatter. That is really good, actually. So, we have Zenith Seeker. Pursuit of Glory. Forsake the Worldly. We pretty much got to take this Essence Scatter. We can use it in a deck later, anyways. So Temet Vizier of Noctamoon for a blue and a white, which is basically our colors. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature token you control gets 1/1 until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. So I don't know if that's going to be useful for us or not. Target creature token gets 1/1 until end of turn and can't be blocked. You know, but it's, you know, 2/2 for 2 as well with Embalm. Or we can take Compelling Argument, Supply Caravan, like the River Shrine. Let's just go with him. Why not? So we've got another Binding Mummy. This some nice combat tricks, which will probably take that. Illusory Wrappings. That might be good for their bombs later on. Their big bomb creatures, Floodwaters, turn up to 2 target creature cards from their owner's creatures to their owner's hands. That's a late game card and really expensive, but let's go with this one. You know what? Yeah, let's go with the Illusory Wrappings. So we get Fanbearer. This is a great card. It's a zombie, and it's a 1/2 for 2, and I can pay 2 and tap target creature. So we'd probably take that. And the Catcher's Name. Now we don't have a lot of zombies, so... Or Sparring Mummy. I can untap a creature when this comes into the battlefield. Let's just take the Fanbearer. Yeah. Alright, so we've got an Unwavering Initiate here. He's 3 mana for 3/2 Vigilance and Embalm. We'll probably take him, he's good. Scribe of the Mindful. Let's take Unwavering Initiate. Forsake the Worldly. Yeah, for 3 mana we can exile target artifact or enchantment with 2 cycling, so that's probably going to be handy. It's an instant too, instant speed. And Balmer's Tools, it's an artifact. Activated abilities, creature cards in your graveyard cost 1 less to activate. Let's not worry too much about these. Or there's a Cancel and a Binding Mode. Let's go with the Cancel. So Jeru's Resolve, untap target creature. Yeah, let's do that. And we'll take a... Whenever you cycle or discard a card, target creature gains flying until end of turn. Or we could go Those Who Serve, just a 2/4. It's just a zombie. Let's take the zombie. Compelling Argument. Or Luxa River Shrine. You pay 1, tap it, you gain a life, put a brick on it. You gain 2 life, tap it. Activate this ability only if there are 3 more bricks. Let's just take Compelling Argument. And Fling. Alright, so after drafting your final card, any cards that exceeded your 4x collection limit increase your vault progress. So we got 4 of those, okay. Now, we know we're not going to use any of this red stuff, so let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of the... all this down here. Fling without weakness. We don't need it. Don't need it. We're building a 40 card deck, and right now we have 51, so we're going to take out some stuff. So we want to go to about 17 lands, and right now we've got 8 plus 6, which is 14. Math is hard. So let's take out the swamp. Disable that, yeah. And we're going to take out... So we're going to be in blue-white, so we're not going to need this Crypt of the Eternals. Not going to need Survivor's Encampment, most likely. Alright, so we got to cut 8 cards. So we get... You know, let's go to 10... Let's go 10 plains, 17 islands. We'll just have a basic... that. So we've got to cut a bunch of cards. So what does our curve look like right now? We've got 16 creatures. 18 non-creatures. And we're mostly white. A little bit of blue. So, let's see what we can cut. Let's see, let's go to the other view, change the deck layout. So we've got a bunch of 3-drops. Put that back down there this way. Let's organize these. Okay, that looks good to me. Now, what can we cut? We definitely want to keep these riddle forms in. I consign, we're not going to need that. Unconventional tactics, we might use that. Tap 2 creature cards. Leave him in, leave him in. Alright, so let's leave in, you know what, let's take out the Winged Shepherd. Let's take out these 2 guys. Because they're just super expensive. So we gotta cut 7 more cards. Those who serve. Nah. This is Nos Flyer, Bird Warrior, so let's take out. We'll leave him in. Ancient Crab, we'll leave him in to block for us. Turn 3. Sandblast, we gotta leave that in. Wrappings, we'll leave this in. Or you know what? We'll take out the Compelling Argument. This guy's probably not going to be much of use to us. Vizier of Noctimoon. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature token you control gets 1/1. So we don't have a lot of tokens. Actually, I don't think we have any tokens at all. So we're just going to cut him. We can tap 2 creatures. Saving Grace. We'll leave that in. You know what? Let's just cut Saving Grace. We'll cut this Compelling Argument too. Leave Mummy Paramount in. We'll leave Unsummon in, so we can put those really expensive cards back into his hand. What are we at? 43. So we need 3 more cards to go. Bye bye. We're pretty heavy on our 3-drops, so and our 2-drops, so let's see what we can get rid of from here. Man, do we really need this? Exile target artifact or enchantment? You know, I kind of feel like we will, because there are some pretty tasty artifacts in there. But they're really the more gimmicky decks, so let's go for 3 mana, let's just take that out. I don't think that's going to be too useful for us. We'll keep Dutiful Servants. Well, we'll throw him out. And we will... What do we have left? We've got 41. So we need to cut 1 more card. We will cut... Whenever you cast a blue-black or red spell, gain a life. We'll keep that in there because that's going to be really handy to block on turn 1 if we draw it. Untap target creature, prevent all damage that would be dealt to it this turn. Cycling 2. One more card has to go. We definitely want to keep these riddle forms in because they're just really good. We'll probably just take out one of these strategic plannings because that's not going to do too awful much. Yeah. Okay, so now we're up to... What do we got? We got 40 cards. What does our curve look like? So we're, 9 blue cards. 14 of those we're really underhanded on the creatures. We got a lot of non-creature, but we are pretty control-y. We got 17 lands. And we do have those 2 riddle forms, which will make creatures for us. You know what? Let's just go with this. We'll call it our blue-white draft deck. How original, right? Okay, so we're done with that.